distant land, where the sea stretched endlessly into the horizon, there stood a lone lighthouse on jagged cliffs. Its keeper, a man named Elias, had but one sacred duty: to keep the light burning, guiding ships safely through the treacherous waters. For years, Elias tended to the great beacon with unwavering diligence. Each morning he would polish the glass, trim the wick, and ensure the flames were steady against the wind. His work was steady, his purpose clear. But as time passed, something changed. The island had grown strangely noisy. Seagulls shrieked endlessly outside his windows. The waves, once a rhythmic lullaby, crashed with a chaotic intensity. And worse still, a curious new distraction emerged. The village had gifted him a looking glass, allowing him to see the ships he guided. At first it seemed a blessing. He could admire the vessel, count the sails, even predict their arrival. But soon his fascination overtook him. He found himself staring into the glass for hours, mesmerized by the movement of the sea, the gossip of the sailors, and the endless parade of distractions. The flame in the tower flickered, the lenses gathered dust, and one fateful night, a ship lost its way, crashing against the unseen rocks below. Stricken with guilt, Elias climbed the spiral staircase and stared into the dark waters. The wreckage bobbed in the moonlight, a silent accusation. He had failed, not for the lack of effort nor the lack of time, but because he allowed himself to be pulled away from his true purpose. The next morning, as dawn's first light stretched across the sea, Elias made a vow. He locked away the looking glass, closed the shutters against the ceaseless cries of the gulls, and returned to his duty with renewed focus. And when the temptation to glance outwards arose, he reminded himself his work was the light, not the watching. Day by day, the beacon burned brighter. The glass gleamed once more. The ships, now guided safely, passed in silent gratitude. And though the distractions still whispered outside his tower, he'd learned the greatest secret of all. Focus is not about avoiding distractions, but mastering the discipline to return to the work that matters. And from that moment forwards, the Lighthouse Keeper stood steadfast against the storm, his light unyielding, his purpose clear. Remember, productivity is not about doing more, but about guarding your focus. Turn away from distractions and tend to your light. Thank you for joining me and Elias at the Lighthouse today, and until next time, goodbye and good mental health.